Welcome back to season 4, another episode. I can't remember which one, but we're way into season 4 now.
We're way in, yeah.
And as you can hear, we are not in the regular studio. We are back at the beautiful
Mickleton Hills Farm.
Yeah, so gorgeous here. We absolutely love it. And what we thought would be really nice is for this season to mix it up a little bit and actually come out to these wedding venues. We've got so many beautiful wedding venues by us.
Let's showcase them. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, let's show them off. So we're sat right now in the bridal suite at the beautiful Mickleton Hills Farm. It's absolutely gorgeous. You've got all the gorgeous mirrors that are all lit up on one side of us.
Vanity lights, Cotswold stone.
You've got this like chill out sofa area.
This sofa as well is, if you're ever coming in here for bridal prep, I sit on it and I sink in it every week.
It's elite. It's so beautiful. I feel like though, if you are getting ready, you're going to find that your wedding party, you're just going to have a little snooze on this because it's absolutely gorgeous. But we are joined today. We're really, really excited to be joined by one of our previous season sponsor.
Yeah, last season sponsor
of Toss the Bouquet, the fabulous Cara from Cara Mia Venue Styling.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey Cara, how are you doing? You okay?
I'm good, yeah, very good, thank you.
You're vibing with your pink cardies today. I love it. So nice.
She's got the idea. You need to just have this cushion next to you. It's beautiful. It blends in. So it's so nice to have you here, Cara. So you are, of course, a wedding stylist. So talk to us a little bit about what you guys do.
So on the day we turn up and we just make everything look beautiful, I think is the easiest way to describe it, because I think a lot of the time people, when I say I'm a venue stylist, they're like, oh, you plan weddings?
Yeah.
No, I don't do all the planning, just the pretty things. And then I spend a lot of my time crawling around tidying up afterwards. So
on your hands and knees.
Yeah, I don't look pretty, but the venue will look great.
But that's the good thing, because if it is your wedding, you don't want to be the one who's having to do all that. So it's great having somebody like you that can come in and help with that.
Yeah.
So what kind of things do you offer on a wedding day?
So we do everything from fresh floristry for personal flowers and installations, silk floristry, candles, all that sort of thing, ceiling draping, backdrops, and also all your on the day stationery.
Yeah. Which one are you finding more out of silk and real flowers?
I think what's quite popular is having a mix.
Okay.
So spending your budget on having the personal flowers, like your own bouquet in
that's
fresh.
Nice. Yeah, that's
so
nice.
you can't beat the smell of a fresh bouquet. But if you're having a big arch, like we've got some gorgeous luxury arches that if you were to have them in fresh flowers would cost so much money. And I mean, they'd look pretty, but in your photos, would you really tell the difference?
Yeah.
Probably not. And if they're outside in the sun, actually silk's better because they're not going to die in the heat.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, massively. I find that in the summer, I think we underrate it here, don't we? When it's hot, it is hot in the summer.
When it's hot, it's hot, yeah.
And then, they instantly just wilt, don't they?
They do. And like some of the prettier flowers, like hydrangeas and things, they're really fussy. So they cost a lot of money to buy and then to have, and then they die quite easily.
Yeah, so it's nice that...
So if you have artificial of those, you know they're going to last.
Perfect. That's such a good idea and a great way, I guess, of saving money. Is it cheaper to do it that way round?
I think so, definitely.
Yeah.
You can get some really like big, fancy centerpieces for less than half the price of what they're being fresh.
That's so good. And I think the thing is, when I got married, like we did have some artificial flowers, not loads, but I was thinking, I don't know if they're going to look very good. Whereas the quality of artificial flowers nowadays just look incredible, don't they? They do look really real.
And because we do both, then we can match your personal flowers to what the artificial look like.
That's good.
So because you're getting it all in under one roof, you know they're going to look as close to the same as possible.
Yeah, rather than having to like work separately with a florist and try and pass on the details of what you're having.
Colour's really subjective, isn't it? So what I think is blush, you might not think is blush.
Yeah,
that's true.
So the fact that you do the fresh flowers as well, so like talk to us about that. Have you always done floristry as well? Like how does that work? Have you just got a big team, or how does it happen?
So we've grown over the last few years, and we just used to do mainly centerpieces and things.
Yeah.
And then I think it's a really big thing for us that we always like to learn and evolve and always be changing with the times. So we started learning floristry, 4 of us, and then we've really loved it. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. And I think really good and reassuring as well for a couple, knowing that they can come to one supplier, but they can tick off a few things at once.
Yeah, but alternatively, we're really happy to work with florists as well, and stationery people. Like, I know some people want to do all of it, but we're quite happy that if they just wanted ceiling draping and their centerpieces, we'd do that, and then we can work with your stationer or your florist as well.
That is good. That's nice that you can mix it up. So then you do stationery as well. So what kind of things do you do for stationery? What kind of stationery do people need to think about on their wedding day?
So we just do on the day stationery, so we wouldn't do your invites or your save the dates.
Makes sense.
But things like welcome signs, table plans, place names, table numbers, even things like we've had people have timelines.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is nice, so people know when they're meant to be. And one of our ladies we call them table talkers. So they're like,
what's that?
You get them sometimes in restaurants and they're like triangular and they stand up. So because everyone was having the same menu, so that's another thing, menus.
Oh yeah, of course.
Everyone was having the same, so she just had the menu on there, the table number, and then the timeline.
That's such a good idea.
Clever.
I've definitely seen them where, like you say, they're in the middle, aren't they? They've got like their offers on or cocktails or whatever.
Yes, so design it to go with your decoration instead. Yeah. And they were really cute and just different.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Like you say, because you might not want individual menus. Because the thing is, I think we all know in the wedding industry, like we're trying to make it better all the time, but there is a lot of waste.
Yeah.
And
massive.
things like that, exactly. Like I saw menu cards the other day. I went to a wedding actually as a guest, and our menu cards, but also our place names, were on this paper that had seeds built in with it.
Oh,
so then you can rip it up afterwards,
put it in your
plant it, and it's wild seeds.
Yeah, I love that.
So it's wildflowers, sorry. So it's really nice because then they're kind of reusing it. It's not something that you just look at it on the table and then leave it behind. Like it was actually something that we took with us.
I want to do my business cards like that next year.
Yeah, it's such a good idea.
Yeah.
I think it's just nice, isn't it, to have the different options.
I think so. And like you say, it's something where if you're not having a choice menu, so everyone's having the same thing, why spend so much on it?
Yeah, exactly.
Weddings are expensive. I like saving where I can.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. And I think that's the thing as well. Sometimes when people first get engaged or they're first shopping around, they might be concerned that suppliers are just going to try and sell everything and try and just get the biggest order. And actually, it isn't like that. We want to work with you and help work out how we can make things better for you and easier for you, don't we?
It's like, and I always say, if ever I ask someone's budget, it's not because I want to spend all of it. It's because I want to take their ideas and work around what we can do and how much I can do for that.
So if couples are choosing, how do they choose a theme or colour theme? I always really struggled with this for my wedding. How about you?
We were going to go for white theme because at the time I loved the Kardashians and I think I was 2017, I don't know if Kim and Kanye got married around then, but it was all white and I loved it. But then I completely changed my mind, and because the venue we chose was all about the garden where we got married. It was like secret garden, so then we took that and ran with that and went secret garden theme. But it is really hard, like where do you start?
What's your top tip for couples?
So unless they've got a really good idea of what they love, I always say, okay, what colours don't you like? That's a good place to start. And then the other thing is, if you've got bridesmaids, what suits them?
Yeah, that's good.
What's going to look good on them, and then that's going to play into your colour scheme.
Yeah.
So you can't have your bridesmaids in burnt orange and then have yellow.
Yeah.
So, we'd have to, I can't think of the word. We'll do it all around what they're going to wear.
Like what complements it.
Yeah, of course. Make a palette out of it.
Yeah.
So
so bridesmaids is a great place to start then. Yeah. What about if you're not having bridesmaids?
Ooh.
What would you do then? Like where do you think would be a good place to start?
I'd just say, what's your favourite colour?
Yeah, what do you like?
Because I think everyone's really focused on having a timeless wedding.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that's really a thing.
Yeah.
Having timeless romance is a thing.
Yeah.
But, I got married 3 years ago and we had navy and champagne, which is quite classic, but even that, I look at my wedding now and I'm like, you can tell that was 3 years ago. And I don't mind it. Like I still love it, but would I choose it now? No, I wouldn't. I'd choose something different now.
So is that because you went for a colour that you wanted to be like, that looked nice and was on trend, or is that because that was your favourite colour? Like how did that work?
It was because we were having a bit of a navy theme going on because of my husband being in the navy.
In the navy, right.
So,
I like it. That's cute.
So that's why we did that. And I just thought it was nice for the venue because the venue had quite a lot of natural light, so you could get away with having quite a dark colour in there.
That's another thing as well, I guess, think about your venue. But like you said, if you're going to go for your favourite colour, that's never going out of fashion, is it? If that's something
you'll
that
love
you love.
No, regardless, won't you, time and time again.
I'm surprised yours wasn't all pink.
I know, well...
Come on, Tom.
I'm out there in pink and, but Tom's very classic. So we actually did navy, champagne and burgundy.
Oh,
and
nice.
we got married in a castle, so it's kind of like a bit more formal vibes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Back in the day. But I'd probably have, what was it? What does Oliver Stanton call it? Disco lesbian or something like
that?
Like pink and orange.
And disco balls. Yeah, definitely. And is that what, do you see like your couples come to you with trend ideas?
Sometimes. A lot of the time when I get people come to me, it's because they don't really know what they want.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that have got a really good idea, are quite crafty or they've got good vision anyway. Whereas a lot of our couples are like, we know we want it to look great, but we don't know how to achieve that.
Yeah.
And that's where I come in. That's why they need me.
Yeah.
So it's, even if you DIY, you can probably get someone to come in and set it up for you on the morning. You don't necessarily need all the stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, definitely, it's because we do everything for them, alongside them. You know, we take what they like, what they don't like, and then build around that for them.
Yeah, that's really nice. Because I think as well, that's the thing, like when you're planning, you think, oh, I can do that, I can make that. And you can make all these things, but who's going to put them out on the day? Who's going to set them up on the day? You do not want to have to be worrying about that when it's your wedding. No, you want to be able to just relax.
The amount of times you might as well as Laura actually, but say not on a wedding morning, like bridesmaids going off and they've had hair and makeup done and they're late back and it's just like, oh, stress.
Yes.
But, you know, and then the bride's like, can you take a picture of this? Can you look at this? Or, you know, the couple are just like, oh, we need to see it before. And it's like, no, you don't. You need to be chilling out with a glass of champagne.
Yeah, and trust your supplies that you've chosen carefully and you've invested your time and your money with to make sure it's perfect. Go and just enjoy it. And actually, absolutely. I also think as well, when you walk into a room and you haven't been the one that's done it all and set it all up, what a beautiful surprise to walk in and see. Like, you know, if they walk into their ceremony space and see that beautiful floral backdrop, or they walk into their wedding breakfast and see all that beautiful styling, or their stationery as they walk in, like all these things.
Yeah. I mean, I was awful. I set up my own wedding, but only because I knew I could get in the day before.
Yeah, and also in the trade, I think it's different, isn't it?
But when you work in it. I was up till midnight setting up my own wedding, and I wouldn't recommend it because I was up at 5 a.m. the next morning because I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
We had a midday wedding. But my favourite part of after we got married, obviously the ceremony was my favourite part, but it was taking my husband in to show him everything that we'd done.
That's lovely.
Like, that was really nice.
Yeah,
he wasn't as impressed as he should have been, to be honest.
Come on, hubby.
Like, come on, I've worked really hard.
And then what about in terms of the stationery? So you mentioned some of the options. What do you think are like non-negotiables versus nice to haves? So what's on the non-negotiable list first of all for stationery?
Table plan.
Yeah.
100%. If you don't have a table plan of some sort, you're just inviting a bit of carnage into your day.
Yeah, chaos.
Even though you think, oh, well, we've got plenty of seats, you've got to think that sometimes you'll have families of 3, or you'll have someone on their own that only knows one person. And what you don't want is then there to be odd seats left.
Yes.
Because the more tables you have, the more centerpieces you need. The more expense. So let's try and keep everyone together and figure out a way so you can have one less table.
Yeah, great.
And spend the money somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, table plan non-negotiable.
So even if you're doing like food trucks and stuff, just delegate people to a table. They don't have to necessarily have a seat, you know, a seat plan.
Yeah, they don't necessarily need to have a place name there. If it's not a case of they're having a menu served to a seat, they can sit anywhere on that table as long as they sit on that table.
But just make sure they're on that table. Yeah, it's so true. I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's like you've got to have the level of organisation. You might get some couples that are super, super chill, like you say, food trucks that think, we just want all that sharing vibe, which is great, but we need a bit of that Monica from Friends energy where it needs to be organised.
And actually, I don't know about you, Laura, I spent a lot of my wedding planning trying to figure out who's going to sit next to who's going to talk to who, and actually that takes all of that away because you can just be like, right, you're on table 6. Go for
exactly.
It.
Yeah,
sit
go and enjoy.
Sit what you want.
That's a good idea.
Suck it up, sister.
But I saw this tip as well. If you are in the middle of table planning at the moment and it's driving you crazy, I saw a tip that somebody said use pegs. So you get wooden pegs, you write people's name on the wooden peg.
Yeah.
And then it means instead of having to, you know, use your spreadsheets or like scribbling people's names out or whatever, you could just literally get the pegs and move them across the tables.
I did it with sticky. You know, like the mini sticky Post-its.
But then did they start losing their stick and curling at the edges? Because that's what happened to mine.
Yeah, and then they come off. That's true.
Yeah. Such a good... Although when you get angry, you can then rip their names. You're like, no, get them off.
She's
on a
gone
different
by.
table. Yeah, exactly. But no, the pegs, I just saw that and thought that was quite a cool idea.
That's cool.
Like quite an easy way of doing it.
It's
Because
clever.
table planning is always the thing, isn't it?
It's not my favourite part. It's like when I had my own wedding, it was not my favourite part. It was a bit of a stress, but it saves so much hassle on the day.
It does.
Because when you've got all these adults, and it's the adults, it's not the children. The children do as they're told.
Fine,
It's like herding cats, and you don't need it. You just don't need that stress.
We need the adults to follow instructions like the kids do, definitely. And then what about, so I've seen where they have the table plan on one side. What would you maybe, like, as a way of being able to have 2 in 1, would you suggest having something else on the other side? So could it be a welcome sign or something?
Yeah, you could have your welcome sign and then turn it over for afterwards.
Yeah.
Or I mean, a timeline, if you have a timeline done, I'd usually keep that out so everyone knows what's happening all day.
That's nice.
But like some people like to have a pick a seat, not a side, or obviously no social media, like turn your phones off. Yeah. And then that can be reused. So it works out cheaper for you because it's the same base material, having a double print on it.
Yeah. So is there anything else on that non-negotiables list then? Obviously we've said table plan. What else do you think is like a must for stationery?
I really like a nice welcome sign.
Yeah.
I know you don't really have to have it, but I just think it sets the tone of the day.
Yeah, agreed.
And like you can get cheeky ones as well, and I just think it lets people into the vibe of your wedding.
Oh, what's a cheeky one? Tell us about a cheeky one.
You know, like they've probably gone out of fashion now, but when you'd see, this is Cara's wedding featuring Robbie.
Yes.
Or we had a welcome sign to the reception where it said it started with a kiss, and I crossed out kiss, and it said punch because we met boxing.
Stop
so
it, I like that.
The first thing my husband ever said to me was how many fingers I'm holding up because someone had just punched me in the face. So,
this is such a great story.
That's
I love
story.
But there's just ways of, and this is what we always say we like to do, is putting your love story into your day.
I really like that.
That everyone knew immediately that knew us, that's because that's how they met.
That's so nice. And then the ones who didn't know, maybe they're newer friends or
maybe they're like, what's going on?
Like, oh, what's happening here? Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good idea, like having a bit of fun with your welcome sign, isn't it? It doesn't just have to literally be welcome to our wedding.
Definitely.
But also, like you say, sets the tone with colours and stuff like that as well, I guess, and things like that. Amazing. So we've got welcome sign, table plan. Any other non-negotiables, or do you think the rest are in nice to have?
Okay, so the last non-negotiable I'd say is some reserved seating signs for your ceremony.
1,000,000%. I'm with you on that, babe. Yeah. Say it louder for those at the back. Yes, please.
So definitely the parents of the couple, your bridal party. You don't want them getting to the front and having nowhere to sit. Mm-hmm. So just a little reserve sign for them. If you've got nice Chiavari chairs, they can go on a little bit of ribbon on the side.
Absolutely. And can I add to that, named reserve cards, please, not just reserved, because I had a wedding a couple of weekends ago and they just had reserved, which fine, but there's certain people, grandparents, aunties and uncles that were like, oh yeah, well, we're going to be in reserved. Even the bride's brother actually was in a reserve seat, which he wasn't meant to be. It was meant to be for the bridesmaids, but he was like, well, of course I'm going to have a reserve seat, because it didn't have his name on, and I think it was just the couple had forgotten because they were thinking they only need to reserve seats for who's walking down the aisle. So all these things, and so bless them, they had a planner at this wedding, so the planner was having to try and sort it out and get people to then stand up and move back and make room, whereas if you've got reserve signs that have got their names on,
then there's no confusion.
So much better, and you also know then that you've thought about everyone.
That's
and especially
awkward as well. Sorry, you're not in the bridal party. Can you just like move back and
the amount of times I've had to tell aunties that yes, they really love you, but not quite enough to be in the front three. So please, can you move back a tiny bit?
God.
So reserve signs with names on. But it's also, they're as much for the people who are sitting in them as they are for the people who aren't. Yeah. Because unless you're the auntie who thinks they should be at the very front, we're very typically British in a ceremony space, and we go, oh, we better not sit too near the front, and make sure we've left some room, or go and just sit at the end or sit at the back. And then there's a load of empty seats and we have to move people around anyway. So absolutely, reserve signs, and then you can just say to everyone else, unless there's a reserve sign on it, sit wherever you like.
And feel from the aisle outwards, right?
100%.
Because like in your pictures, people I hate that. Drives me insane when you see a picture and there's like one empty seat on the aisle or something. It's like, no.
I did a site visit on last week and the bride said that to me. She says, please, can we make sure the aisles are full? I was like, 100%. Like, that's my pet peeve, seeing empty aisle seats. But also some venues put, say for example, they've got a set ceremony space that doesn't ever change, it's only ever for ceremony. They might put 120 seats in that space, but actually some weddings only use 60 of them, but they leave them all in there.
Oh no, that's shite.
So actually what you're in, I know, that's where it does happen. So that's where it does happen, whereas actually if you're just putting the amount of chairs out as you've got guests, there aren't going to be empty seats.
That's true.
And if there are, we hide them at the ends, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't like leaving all the chairs out.
No, definitely
but
not.
we do have it where to make the row full at the end.
Yes.
So there would be a couple of spare seats, but only like 3.
Yes.
Just so it looks even.
So it's full from the back.
Yes.
Right,
Got
okay.
You. I
so
guess if they're taking a picture from the back, like down the aisle. Symmetrical.
Nice when it's empty, when there's nobody sitting down. But then once people are sitting down, would it be all right to move those chairs out? Because then it looks empty.
I think once people are in it changes it anyway, doesn't it? It changes the whole vibe of your pictures.
Yeah.
So.
Nice for the pictures, like you say. I get what you mean, like the ceremony layout, maybe those photos.
Yeah.
And then once people are actually sat down, it's like, get rid of empty chairs. Because it looks like people don't love you enough to come.
Yeah,
it looks like people haven't turned up.
Oh, no.
So if Laura and I, we're a couple for season 4.
Oh, yes,
love you.
Love you too.
So we are coming to you with like completely brand new. We don't know where to start with styling. How would you just take us through it? How would you do your consultation? How will we?
Okay, so usually when we have a consultation, I try to always find out, so I'm going to say brides, it's usually a bride that would get in touch with me. So I always find out their partner's name, because otherwise they just come on the call and I don't know who they are. And then the first question is, what time are you getting married?
Yes.
You know, because I'd already know the venue and where they're getting married.
Yeah.
So it's the timing, so we know when we have to be in there to get ready for them.
Ah, that makes sense.
And then we sort of take them through asking what their likes and dislikes are. One of the big things for anyone's budget will be how many day guests are you having? Because again, like I said earlier, for the tables, that makes a big difference. And then I just try and really get a feel of what they love and what they don't. It can be quite difficult. Some people know immediately and they can tell you and they've got pictures and they're like, I'll add you to my Pinterest board. And other people are just like, I don't really know what I do and don't want. So it's just trying to eke out of them bit by bit what their idea of their perfect day is.
Okay, what's our idea of our perfect day then, babes? How many guests are we having?
I like 60.
Can we have 70?
Yeah, 65.
Okay, we've agreed on 65.
Joan's not coming.
That's good negotiation there. Okay, we've got 65 guests.
Yeah.
What was the other question? What are we into?
Yeah, what do we like?
We
do like pink.
We like pink.
Pink and burgundy and green we sussed this morning, didn't we?
Yeah.
With a bit of sparkle.
Yeah, we like a bit of sparkle. We like disco balls, but not full disco ball theme, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
We like a bit of that.
Obviously want a personalised ceremony.
Yes.
Probably some florals in there.
100% flowers, loads.
Yeah, okay.
Loads of flowers to me.
Yeah,
that's important.
I want, what do I want? I'm going to have a big dress.
And I'd quite like some draping, please.
Oh, yeah, I love
Nice.
draping.
Yeah, I'd like some
Make
draping.
it dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want a musician, so maybe something around them would be quite cute.
Oh, what, some decor?
Yeah.
I'd quite like them to be Roman, babes. Is that okay?
Roman.
Roman. Yeah, I'd like a specifically Roman musician.
Spartan
no,
vibes,
roaming. Roaming, like moving around.
Yeah, we can do that.
So I'm worried if we
Free
put
flows.
decor, they won't be able to move.
Yeah, but decor down the aisle, I think.
Oh yeah, down the aisle, but
So,
not
like,
around the musician. I thought you said around the musician.
Unless you want a piano. Do you want any on the piano?
I don't want a piano.
Okay, fine.
I'm being the difficult at the house.
God's sake.
But that's the thing. So say we came to you with that brief. I don't really think there was much of a brief there. It's pretty chaotic. But what kind of things would you suggest for us?
But I'd suggest probably, I always like to frame the ceremony.
Yeah, nice.
I think it is the most important part of the day.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you can use whatever you've got there to move around. I'd say
nice.
if you want disco balls but not too much, I'd say bring them out for the evening.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So make that a little changeover so you have a little party vibe going on.
So
That's
like
a good idea.
florals for the ceremony and then little party disco in the evening.
Oh yeah, we can have florals and drapes for the ceremony maybe.
Yeah.
What colours would we want?
Well, we're doing pink and burgundy.
Okay, pink and burgundy,
Yeah. So you can do pink and burgundy, and what you can either do is you can use burgundy in your draping if you want it really dramatic, or if you want it a bit fresher, you can have an ivory drape and then have burgundy and pink flowers in front.
I like
that'll
burgundy
really pop.
draping. I think that's really
burgundy,
cool.
I like
it.
That's
Let's go hard or
different.
go home.
I've not really seen that. I've only really seen ivory draping. So yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah, I've only ever seen ivory draping.
Yeah, I think I have as well.
Why
I can't
is
remember
that?
ever
Do you
seeing
think it's
any
just
of
because
the
of the
colours.
venues?
I don't know.
I think a lot of the time when you buy stuff in ready-made, it's ivory, and it's the easiest thing to go out time and time again. We spend a lot of time hand dyeing fabric.
Oh, do you?
So we did some ceiling draping last month, and the bride wanted blush, but she's like, I don't want it candy pink.
Right.
So we dyed it, and then when I put it up, I was like, oh, it's too light, so we've got to dye it again.
Wow.
So yeah.
Ah, so you really literally, I know you said you bespoke, but you really do bespoke to
Definitely,
to the
yeah.
couple.
I enjoy it. It's a bit weird. I mean, I had pink hands afterwards because I never remembered to wear gloves. So if you have a burgundy wedding and you see me with bright red hands,
That's why.
that's why.
So how much time should we allow for our draping to be put in place on the morning of the ceremony?
What I'd say is some venues are really good at letting you in very early.
Yeah, nice.
If they'd let me in at 7 a.m, I'd be in at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
If they won't let me in till 10 and you're having a 12 o'clock ceremony, we'll still make it work.
Yeah.
But I might be a bit nervous.
Yeah, we need a bit more time.
Yeah, and this is the thing, if you're having massive installations, they take time to do it, can't all be done off-site. A lot of it has to be done on-site. but we can set up your ceremony, and then if there's a separate room for your evening reception, we can be in there being very quiet while you're getting ready for your ceremony.
Ah, that's nice. Okay. So what are some of the questions then that we need to ask our venue when we're talking to them about the styling? What questions do we need to make sure that we ask?
So I always like to know when I can get in.
Yeah.
When I need to clear out, because some venues are great and they'll just let you in the following morning, and some need you to be there at midnight.
Yeah, okay.
Because they don't like to keep the things overnight, or they don't have staff there the next day. They're dealing with breakfast for you the next day, so they don't want like suppliers in, or they've got another wedding going in.
Yeah.
And then just how much insurance they need you to have. Because some places need you to have 1 million.
Yeah.
Somewhere that I was dealing with the other day need all your suppliers to have 5 million.
Wow. Yeah.
Public liability.
Do you know what? I get this all the time as well. They always say to me, "Oh, we need 5 mil public liability." I'm like, "Babe, I've literally got a hair tongue."
Yeah.
It's not like I've got a full DJ electrical set and I'm gonna like blow the whole place up.
I'm here with my steamer.
Yeah, literally.
That's all I've got, just a steamer.
But still, it's like 5 million. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I know.
But yeah, that's one of the things that, unless you're in the industry, I suppose you don't really think about.
No.
But you do want all your suppliers to be insured, because then it shows they're a serious business.
So I'm worried while we're having this consultation call, I'm getting second thoughts because I'm a bride that gets worried about things. I'm worried that this pink... Thanks, babe.
Nervous nanny.
This pink and burgundy trend, I'm seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm worried. Is it going to be too samey? Is everyone else going to have seen this trend?
I think when you start searching for something because you love it, then it's going to come up in your algorithm again and again. So for me, I like goats that faint. So I see a lot of goats that faint on TikTok because it's something that I found...
I did not expect that to go that way. That's brilliant.
It's something that I found really funny. And obviously now TikTok knows I like it.
So they're
So it's showing it me. So I just think, although you'll be seeing it a lot because you're getting married and you love that look, none of your guests will be seeing that.
Okay, so it's not like we're going to then become the sage green that everyone, including Oliver Stanton, then starts bitching about.
Sage green has been here for a really, really long time though.
Yeah.
It's been like
consistent
the Cadbury purple.
for a long time, 10 years.
I think in the sage green bridesmaids' defence, exactly like Cara said, to that bride and that groom or that couple, whoever's chosen it, to them, that's the first time they might have seen it. And they love green, so they should be allowed to have sage green. And yes, Oliver Stanton, I am talking to you. Because actually, if they love it, they haven't seen it all the time.
Matter? Yeah.
Yes, we're suppliers and we might have seen it, but just because we've seen something a lot doesn't mean that it's been overdone to that person. And to that person, that might be really unique and special to them.
Yeah.
So who are we to tell them that actually, no, that's been done before?
Sage green shit.
So sorry, Oliver.
Yeah. I mean, I don't personally love it, but...
Yeah, but you don't personally love it.
Yeah, but I've done many a sage green wedding and the girls looked fabulous.
Exactly.
And I must say, sage green, as much as you hate it, Oliver, it does suit every skin colour, every hair colour. So
it's a good all-rounder. But I do think for that person, that is really special. And to them, I mean, look at my nails right now.
I was just sat here with sage green nails.
But that is the thing. It's like actually to that person, they love that colour and that's their wedding. That's the first wedding they've planned. That's the first wedding they might have been to. That's, to them, that is unique and special.
And we do say it all the time, do you?
Yeah, and I think that is a really good point. You made it earlier before we started recording. That's why I wanted to bring it up, because actually... that is so true. If you think something's been done, it's because you're seeing it a lot on the algorithm. Yeah. Do you get quite a lot of couples that get nervous and change their themes ever?
I have people that are not 100% sure, and I always say, once we've had our consultation, if you decide to book, it's not set in stone. So you can come back to me and you can say, actually I've decided I want to put this colour in as well, or they don't know their numbers until closer to the time as well. So I'm available whenever you want to speak to me, but unless you reach out to me, you won't hear off me until about 8 weeks before. And then you should have all your numbers and all your final details and things. Because I think it's a bit like wedding dresses. Once you've bought your wedding dress, stop looking.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get the fear that there's something wrong with your wedding dress, and there's nothing wrong with it. You've chosen it because you love it.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
We talk about it a lot, don't we? Decision fatigue. It's rife this year, definitely. And I think, like you say, we're all so techie now. It's all in our algorithms, and you just get so overwhelmed with it. It's so hard to keep up, isn't it? So yeah.
But it's always those second thoughts, isn't it? And that like buyer's remorse. Once you've made that decision, you're then like, oh my God, have I done the right thing? Because it's so much money, but it's so much pressure to actually make sure that you're doing what you love. So I think that is the thing. That's really good advice. And when would you think is a good time to start, thinking about your styling and making that final decision? Is it the 8 weeks before? Is that when you start? I think
that's absolutely, definitely final.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I need names in for the table plan and things like that, because I like to get all my printing in at least 4 weeks before your wedding, really.
Yeah.
So you know what happens. Sometimes things come and it's crumpled or there's been a misprint, and then I've got time to get it in again.
Okay. And then I was going to say about name places and obviously table plans. If we have last minute dropouts, would you say just put everybody, so like table place names, print for everybody that is 100% coming and then take them away? How does that work with table plans?
I think we have had it before where it's been their final table plan and then someone's dropped out and they're changing it. And I just say, just tell them they're sitting in that person's seat. They know they're a last minute addition.
Yeah.
They know they haven't been invited from a year before. They know somebody's dropped out, so they're taking their place.
Yeah.
And I think nobody's going to really notice that other than you.
Yeah.
And on the day, you're not going to be stood there looking at your table plan. So as long as they know where they're seated.
Yeah.
And they know who they've got to be that day. I think I'd just play that character for the day. I'd just make up some weird backstory and change my name.
I did that with a friend, actually, on our wedding day. We had someone drop out, and I was like to her partner at the time, I was like, do you want to come? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, right, so you're sitting in Joan's seat and you're having roast beef. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the thing as well, because I guess they've got to have the same food, haven't they? Oh, that's brilliant.
I'd be happy if I was being fed.
100%. 100%. So do you think then, Cara, there's any like absolute must-knows on, like, what's your number one tip that's definitely the one thing you should take away from this in terms of styling?
I just think, and probably it's overdone, but you've just got to do what you love.
Yeah.
And it's really, the whole day has got to be about you two. It's not about anybody else. As much as they're our guests and we want to make them comfortable, like you say, if you love sage green, have it. I think sage green at this point is a neutral.
Yeah.
So I always think green's a neutral. It's leaves.
Yeah,
it can go with anything. So it's leaves. It goes with everything. It's
really true. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Cara. Well, that's it for questions from us. I think. Have you got any more you want to add?
No, all good.
No, all good. So
it's Toss the Bouquet.
It is, and we've got a beautiful bouquet here. Now, I know, Cara, you were one of our previous sponsors on last season. This season, we have got a new sponsor for Toss the Bouquet, so you can have a little look at this. And this is from...
So this season's bouquet is sponsored by Petal Wild, wildly romantic, effortlessly editorial, everlasting in silk.
Thank you, Rich. Your big moment.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, it's a very gentle toss. I don't want to break it.
Beautiful. So in there should be a question from last week's guest.
What's something about the wedding industry that you wish couples understood more?
Oh, that's a good question.
So I think what I see a lot is people think you say wedding and it adds pound signs.
This is so... Do you know what? I feel like this is massive at the minute.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah. And I just think it's absolutely not the case. If I wanted to get rich, I don't think I'd work in the wedding industry.
No,
I'd do it because I love weddings.
Yeah.
You know, I love what I do. And if you've got the right suppliers, you're actually going to get way more than you're paying them out of them.
100%.
Definitely, because... I know probably for you two as well, you end up doing more than what you meant to.
Give, because you just want to go above and beyond. And
it's like I said to someone the other day, I see we were doing a sweetheart table, which is just the two of you instead of a top table, and they didn't have really anything on it, so we had extra draping, so we put it on. Now the couple probably wouldn't even realise that.
No.
And we don't have to do it, but for us, it just makes a difference. It finishes it. So,
and I think they actually do realise, because I did a ceremony at Old Gore last week, and on in the ceremony space, I was there with the groom. This was bride and groom in this case, and he was there waiting with me, and we were looking at the flowers saying, oh my God, aren't they gorgeous? And he says, yeah, she's done so much more than we actually booked. Like, they booked a couple of meadows, but actually she'd done little arrangements as well and stacked it up and done boxes and things. And he was like, she's done so much more than we asked her for. Like, it looks so beautiful. And I think the couples do notice, and I think they really do appreciate it.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I think if you've got good suppliers...
Yeah, they'll go above and beyond.
They're working worth the weight in gold, and they're not just adding zeros for the sake of it. There's a lot more that goes into the day than just the day.
Yeah, there is. I think cake's such a good example of that, isn't it? If you buy a birthday cake versus a wedding cake, the difference is massive, and that's why they're obviously more expensive, because the time, the effort, everything that goes into it,
the admin, the insurance. It's just, I'm seeing, I don't know about you guys, I'm seeing a lot of it on TikTok of suppliers having to justify their pricing at the minute, and we're finding it, especially in the hair and makeup industry, the sector of it. People are like, you know, £35 for a bridal makeup, and like, you cannot.
No.
I would not have a wage if I did that. I'd literally be living in poverty.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I love, but I do have children to feed as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%. So it's time for.
So I had a supplier drop into my DMs and said that they worked with another supplier the other day, and this is what they wrote to me about it. So firstly, this supplier wanted to dictate the schedule weeks before the wedding. She's a makeup artist, by the way. And she's put, "Excuse me, sir, it's the hair and makeup schedule is literally none of your concern." He ended up calling her love, literally never even asked for her name.
Oh wow!
Bitched about other hair and makeup artists that he'd previously worked with to the makeup artist. Gave all the bridesmaids nicknames rather than naming them their actual names.
Oh my gosh!
Complained about how immigrants have ruined where he lives.
No.
And only took staged makeup photos. Literally none of what was actually being done, and every single person had exact same makeup shot. Very bizarre. Made me hold my blusher, brush, eye, lip colour with each person with the same exact picture. So the bride has now got duplicates of all her makeup.
All her pictures.
Yeah. Very, very bizarre.
Maybe that supplier isn't worth more than what they were paid.
No.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, maybe they weren't going above and beyond.
I feel like that vibe, but yeah.
But this is where recommendations
100%.
work really well. So if you're getting recommendations from other suppliers, but also for that person, they're not going to be recommended again.
No, and to make that makeup artist, she's definitely not going to recommend them, is she? So,
no, exactly. Well, she's doing quite the opposite. Wow.
Like, write it in as a whisper.
Yeah, so absolutely. Yeah, so make sure when you are booking your suppliers, check if other people have worked with them before. It doesn't really matter if you find someone that's brand new. Everyone's got to start somewhere, but just get that vibe from them first. Talk to your suppliers as well. Like, if a supplier is not going to offer you a consultation call, then you shouldn't be booking them. Like, have the chance to speak to them all if you want to beforehand.
Absolutely.
So we've learned from those mistakes. Love it. Well, thank you so much, Cara. If people want to find you, where can they get in touch? Where can they find you?
So I'm all over social media, and it's Cara with a K, Mia Venue Styling, or it's www.cara-mia.com.
Perfect. And just quickly before we go, Cara Mia is not your name, is it?
No, so my first name is Cara, but I'm a typical 80s child and my middle name's Jane.
Oh, I love it.
So when we were branding the company, I was really looking for a nice name. I did want to include myself, but not have it as Cara Jane. And Cara Mia is what Gomez says to Morticia, and it means like my beloved or my darling.
Oh, I love this.
But it's with a C, and I've had my name misspelled all my life, so I had to do it with a K.
I really love that. Oh, that's so funny. Amazing. So it's inspired by the Addams Family.
It is.
Oh, I love it.
Love it.
Well, if you're an Addams Family fan, make sure you get in touch with Cara. Yeah. Addams Family wedding. That could be the next one.
Great.
Oh my God,
Wednesday
that'd be so
wedding.
cool. Yeah, Wednesday wedding. Yeah.
Wednesday wedding would be great. Okay, that's what we want to see for 2027.
Definitely.
Cheers, Cara.
Thank you.